Hello and welcome to Haircut and the Beard. My name is Vader, aka Haircut, and I'm joined by my co-host, Rob the Beard Brown.
What's going on?
Hey man,
How are you?
beard is looking scraggly.
Not scraggly. Actually, no, it is a bit scraggly. Yep.
Yeah, it is. It just needs to be evened out a little.
Yeah.
Just your stylist.
No,
Any pointers?
I'm going for the scraggly look. You know,
Oh,
I'm going
really?
for the. I saw the Revenant, and I'm going Bushman. You know.
Not bad.
Yeah.
I like it. Survivor Man. Rob. We've got a special guest with us today, the girl 2.0, Toomey. How are you, man?
I'm good, man. Thanks. I'm not sure if I'm happy with this nickname sticking.
started
I know, but it was a one-time joke that's going to be with me
Kind of
forever.
thing now it's happening.
It's just snowballed, and it just gets more and more hilarious every time.
Every time.
If this is the first time listening to the show, we like to talk about movies and TV shows, and we've got some cool stuff lined up today. We're going to talk about the Oscars, and the focus movie of the episode is The Revenant with DiCaprio and
The bear
Iñárritu. Yeah, the bear one.
Yeah.
Bear film. Hit us up on Twitter at HaircutBeard if you want to shoot us a tweet or give us a review on iTunes and let us know what you said. Let's get into it. Let's do some news.
Done.
Deadpool broke records.
Awesome.
That's just an item of news there. Highest grossing R-rated film in the States, of course, not in Australia.
No shit.
Mm.
I'm glad. Like I really enjoyed it.
So I think in America it kind of works that you've got your R rating is essentially MA.
I think
here,
yeah.
And,
I believe you're
and
right,
then
yeah.
like PG-13 is M/PG.
Yeah.
Here.
Basically, people in Australia are harder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know your Australian or the US ratings because British is different altogether.
What do you
Ours
got
are
there?
much simpler. It's just 12, 15, or 18. That's the rating.
Oh, really?
There's no M. What is M?
Can you see an R? Can you see an 18 in cinema?
No, not unless you're 18, obviously.
Yeah, but they do have them because I mean it's pretty rare that you have an R-rated movie in Australia in the cinema.
Yeah. It doesn't happen very often anymore.
Yeah, you don't really get 18s in England, apart from like Tarantino's,
Yeah.
stuff like that.
And what about like? There's obviously a porn rating as well for when it's beyond that.
Yeah, it's like R18 or something.
Oh, it's called R18.
I think
it's like
so,
18
yeah.
and then there's R18.
Yeah, you don't really see them at the cinema though, so I don't know.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know if you want to go to a porn film in the cinema.
I'm really glad this did really well as an R-rated film because it's going to convince studios that there is a lot of really fucking cool comics out there that should be made into an R-rated movie, and
Yeah,
it sort of
totally.
gives them permission to go, all right, maybe we will consider this like really gruesome, over-the-top kind of comic that we wouldn't have touched before.
There's this awesome documentary called "This Film Is Yet to Be Rated," and it's about like the team or the group that's behind doing all the ratings.
Yeah.
And how essentially, studios and cinemas are less likely to buy up movies if they're rated R18, so they have to like censor a lot of things and cut a lot of things out of movies.
Yeah.
So like maybe this will convince studios that fuck it, put that gruesome battle in there with the guts coming out of that person.
Damn right. There was actually a PG version of Deadpool. There was a script for it, and apparently Ryan Reynolds just said, no, it has to be this. Like,
Yeah.
for this character to work, he has to swear, he has to be an asshole, he has to drop C-bombs, and he
Yeah.
just refused, flat out refused. Yeah.
It's not for kids.
Damn right.
Unlike this next movie. Trailer for an awesome movie. It's just been released called Kindergarten Cop 2.
Yeah.
No way.
Dolph Lundgren? Is it?
Yeah, really.
Yes.
Oh man, I was so disappointed because I saw a picture of Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh yes, we're under the headline. But no, it's Dolph. Old Dolphy.
Fucking, I
He's
can't
gonna do
wait.
it. Are you really going to watch it? Like,
That movie was so big in my childhood. I loved it so much.
yeah, but it's not him again. It's a different dude.
I know. I don't know. I haven't even seen the trailer.
It's
Maybe
like
I'll watch the
American
trailer
Crime
and then...
Band Camp. You know what I mean? It's not the same people.
Yeah, try never watch that one.
Yeah.
I don't know. If he says it's not a Duma, I'll probably give it a crack. We'll see.
Yeah,
Surely he's going to find a way to work that in there. You know?
Oh, yeah, they can't get Arnold to make an appearance, so they just like use his quotes.
It's just a shot-for-shot remake with Dolph Lundgren.
Okay, so Star Wars Episode 8 has announced that Benicio del Toro will be joining the cast.
I like him.
I like him too. He's
Anyone
fucking
know
good
what he's
actor.
going to play?
I don't know.
A droid?
It's probably the same as like the first film where everyone's just like calling up their fucking agents saying, look, just get me into this fucking film, dude.
Yeah, no.
I'll suck your dick. I'll play some like ugly looking thing. I don't even care if like I get a credit. Doesn't have to look like me, just get me in the fucking film.
Don't even care if you get a credit.
Yeah, it's like, as long as I can tell my mates and point at myself on the fucking screen, I mean, that's
Well,
all
if you don't have a credit, you could just do that with any character
Well,
anyways.
true.
That's me. I don't have a credit, but trust me.
I actually
that's me.
did play a stormtrooper in Star Wars.
Yeah.
Like, next time we watch it, I'll point myself out, but...
That's amazing, dude. Do you know I was in a flick as well? I was in a movie with Dominic Purcell.
Co-star?
What? Yeah, co-star. Yeah.
He got 2 credits.
You know I got 2 credits.
Because they couldn't spell his name right.
Because they couldn't spell my name right, so they like just put 2 spellings in there. It was pretty awesome. So that's all the news I have. I want to talk about the Oscars a little bit, but do you guys have anything you want to put in?
I got a couple of little ones. This is in sort of gaming news. This was a bit of a shambles. So, you know Lupe Fiasco?
Yeah,
the
man.
rapper?
Yeah.
He's gotten really big into Street Fighter recently, and there's this guy that's like the god of the Street Fighter gaming scene called, his name's like Daigo
Daigo
is his name, yeah. And he's a fucking god. He's the guy that did that amazing clip and won with the versus Chun-Li thing. I'll show you guys later.
Yeah.
Fucking amazing. Like, he's like the Michael Jordan of Street Fighter. Anyway, so they're calling each other out a little bit on Twitter, and he's saying, like, I'm getting pretty good, let's play, right? So they actually organised, like, this big sponsored event where they're going to go and play, and Lupe Fiasco, a rapper, is going to play the world's best Street Fighter player. He's a little bit beyond his prime, but he's still killing it, this guy.
Yeah.
Anyway, usually Street Fighter matches are like first to 5 games, and they're playing, and they didn't really explain to them that it was first to 3 this time.
Right.
So they're just fucking around, and you can see that he's Daigo guy is clearly just sort of stonewalling. He's just sort of fucking around. He's having a bit of fun and all this kind of stuff. And he gets it to a point that it's like 2 games each, right? So what he doesn't realize is the next game is for the win. He loses this match. Lupe's like, yeah, I fucking won, but they thought they were like going to keep on playing.
Yeah. They're like, I won the round.
I won the round, but they're like, they thought that they still had another 2 rounds left, so Daigo could have come back and won. But the crowd's like, no, it was first to 3. You won. You're like, that's it. It's done. It's done.
So Lupe Fiasco, guy known for Kick Push and other rap songs.
Yeah. World's greatest Street Fighter at the moment. World's greatest Street Fighter player at the moment.
That's incredible, man.
And they're like, look, we'll play again. We'll do another round. And it's like, no, I'm not winning now. I'm retiring from fucking Street
Yeah, no
Fighter.
shit.
That's it. I'm out of here.
That's exactly what I would do. I'd be like,
Exactly
"There's
what
no
I would do
way
too."
I'm going to go down.
Damn right. So
Dude,
Lupe
Dago
Fiasco.
should. Doge? Yep, Dago.
It's so easy to say Dago.
Dude,
Don't
Dago.
say Dago.
Dago.
Daigo.
should. What?
Don't worry. Yep.
Daigo should do a rap album. Now that would be something.
I think you're onto something. About Street Fighter. No.
That's cash. Copywriting that trademark. Haircut in the beard 2016. All right, let's talk Oscars because it's coming up very soon, and by the time this podcast is released, it's actually already going to be over. So we're kind of in a unique position to be proven wrong immediately while the listener is listening to this. Yep. So I got the I don't know what I think are the 5 most important categories. I'd like to hear what you guys think about the who's going to be the winner, etc.
Yeah.
All right. So first up, we've got Best Picture. Of course, this is probably the biggest award
The big
of
boy.
the night,
Yep.
aside from Best Director. The main ones nominated, and I'm not going to name all for each category. I'll just name off kind of the top favourites. The Revenant, Spotlight, The Big Short, Mad Max, and The Martian are probably the main ones there. What are your thoughts?
Got to be the Revenant.
I believe the Revenant should win, but my theory is that I think the Revenant's going to do well in a lot of other categories, and I don't think they're going to give it Best Picture because it's going to do well in other categories, which pisses me off.
Okay.
But you've seen it happen before,
Yeah, they probably don't like the idea of giving one movie fucking everything.
Yeah. Which, I mean, it has happened before where one movie wins, 11 fucking Oscars, but I think they prefer not to do that if they can avoid it.
Yeah. It's more likely, I think, to win maybe Best Director over Best Movie.
Agreed. Which would make his second in a row for, what's his name? Inarritu... Alejandro... Yeah. Inarritu. Yeah.
Right in Inarritu, mate.
Fuck, we're so Australian right now.
Alright, so your tip would be then Spotlight, I guess, or The Big Short.
Fuck, it's a hard choice between them. I'm still going to go with The Revenant.
Okay.
But, I don't know. I'm scared.
Yours, Toombs?
What do I think will win?
Yeah.
I think The Revenant will win Best Picture, but not. I don't think it deserves. Well, I don't know. I was thinking about it earlier. I thought if I wanted to rewatch Revenant or Mad Max, I would choose Mad Max any day. I far more would enjoy that. That's got way better sort of replay value. But Revenant, the way it was made and all the shit that they did,
didn't even get a nomination, did it?
Mad Max,
yeah,
for best
not
movie.
for Best Picture.
No, it is nominated for Best
Oh,
Picture.
it's Best Director that it didn't get the nomination for.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm with you on that. I reckon Revenant's going to take it out, to be honest.
Yeah.
Spotlight was fucking great movie. I really enjoyed it.
Spotlight was really good.
Not even
And
heard of
Big
Spotlight.
Short was really good too.
Yeah, Big Short was good.
But definitely won't win it.
No.
All right, so next up, Best Actor.
Leo.
I mean, it's got to be Leo.
Yeah.
I'll tell you the odds. He's paying $1.01.
$1.
$1.01.
Oh, wow.
Next up is Eddie Redmayne, the Danish girl. And then there's Fassbender for Jobs. Steve Jobs.
And he was fucking great in that.
What in Jobs?
Sorry? In Jobs,
Fassbender,
yeah, he was great in that. I think this is right award, wrong time, wrong movie, for Leo. I don't think this is his best performance he's ever had. But, he deserves a fucking Oscar. Give him an Oscar. You know? But I don't. Yeah.
Have you seen that online game? Like Leo chasing the Oscar? You play as Leo and he's trying to chase the Oscar and get the Oscar, and it's like act harder, and you have to like do stuff to make him act harder.
That's so great.
He acted real hard. You got to give me that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he acted real hard this time.
All right, I think it's pretty safe to say we're all locked in for Leo on that one.
Yeah. If he loses, there's going to be rioting in the streets.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to put like a what's called a multi-bet on, where I'll just take our average bets, and I'll just put each as a different leg, and so kind of it multiplies, and so if we win anything, I'll just take it all. All right, so Best Actress, Brie Larson for Room. I haven't seen any of these movies yet, so
I was going to watch The Room this afternoon.
yeah. What's I can't pronounce that name. Sorry, Saoirse Ronan for Brooklyn. Kate Blanchett for Carol.
It's sad. Like, I should have seen more of these films, but I haven't seen any of them.
Yeah.
Which, apparently The Room is, like, the sort of favourite.
She won the BAFTA.
Yeah, apparently she's just fucking amazing in that.
That's
really
based on a
excited to watch
book. I really want to see that, man.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be good. So I'm just going to go with the favourite there because I haven't seen them.
Yeah.
That's all I got to go off.
All right, cool.
Apparently Brooklyn's really good as well, though.
Okay.
But they're just, like, it's not that I'm less likely to watch a film with a female lead, but they're not my kinds of films, those three. Except for The Room, which I am excited for.
They're too white for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can't handle it.
Yeah.
All right, so next category, Best Director. Revenant for Iñárritu, George Miller, Mad Max, Adam McKay.
Hold on, so
Big
he
Short.
is up for Best Director for Mad
Yeah,
Max?
he is, yeah.
Okay. I thought he got snubbed for something.
Well, there was no Best Actor for Mad Max at all.
No.
But yeah, definitely nommed for Best Director.
Okay.
What are you guys' thoughts? Are we all still locked in for The Revenant on
Yeah.
Best Director, or is it...
I think so. Again, I think I'd give it to Mad Max personally.
Yeah.
But
I think Mad Max deserves it.
When you look at the rewatch value, as you said, it's definitely like a tight race.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, the first watch, you got to give it to The Revenant for me, anyway.
Yeah, it's a really tough one. I think, like, they're very different films, but they're both the direction itself, the amount of effort, work, preparation, and everything like that is phenomenal for different reasons for both of those films. You know,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go against the flow and say Mad Max. I feel a bit iffy about it, but I really, really wanted to get it.
Yeah.
As much as I love everything that the Revenant Iñárritu has done.
Okay. And final category here. I mean, not the final category, just the one that I thought was important. Best Original Screenplay. Mad Max didn't get a nom for.
Yeah.
Because it's not original.
yeah, it is. I think it's
Yeah.
not based on a book or a comic, is it?
Yeah.
I think he came up with the concept.
The Revenant was a
think.
book, though, right?
Yeah, well, it was based
Well,
on
it's
it was
true
based
story.
on kind of a what's it called? A book about a person's
biography?
life. Biography is the word I was looking for. Thank
So
you.
Spotlight's the favourite to take out screenplay. Inside Out's next. Straight Outta Compton, Bridge of Spies, and Ex Machina is actually nominated for this one.
Ooh, I'm gonna go Ex Machina.
Whoa, yeah.
Yeah, I would.
It's good, man, but it's so far out on the odds. I
know.
can't justify
You know what? I think it's my heart telling me this is what I want to win, not what I think will win. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Ex Machina just to
He says Spotlight's a favourite.
Yeah, it's $1.10. It's gonna pay. I reckon it's gonna take.
What
I
is
think there's a
Spotlight?
pretty good chance it is going to win.
What is it? I've not heard of it.
It's got Ruffalo and a bunch of others, and they're like
It's a really good film.
They're these
Really good.
journalists in this special team in a newspaper that are investigating the Catholic Church.
Yeah.
It's definitely worth a watch. Really,
I only know
really
it because
good
it was
film.
nominated for all the Globes.
Yeah. I think it'll do well. Yeah, I'm just going to be a bit different.
Good. Well,
a different way.
the results are already in as you're listening to this, so
Yeah.
just go to haircutandthebeard.com and check out the results.
Tell us how awesome I was, or how shit I was.
Yeah, good call on that Mad Max, dude. For,
Thank you. Thank
wow,
you. It's what I
Can't
do.
believe you
It's what I
guessed.
do.
That was against the grain, and you got it.
Yay! I got like 7 out of 8 predictions last year, and this time, like, I think I'm going to get like 2 out of fucking. How many did we do? Actually, no, probably
We
did
only did
0
5,
last time.
so we didn't do any supporting actors.
Yeah. Do we know what was nommed for best supporting?
I'll just find out.
Because there was. Yeah, I think he should fucking get it. He was just mind blowing.
Who else
So
was
good.
there? Oh, Stallone, is he nominated?
Oh yeah, because he got the.
He got the
Fuck
Globe.
right,
yeah.
Stallone.
Yeah, for
No, for a nomination.
yeah, he won the
He
Golden
won it.
Globe for what's
best
that film
supporting
called?
Creed.
Creed.
He was really
How
good
do
at it.
you even
He got standing ovation. People were losing their shit.
really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they
It's
love
a
him.
really good
was
film,
not-
too.
Oh, mate, I know he deserves it. He's fucking great, that dude. But I just didn't think he was that good of an actor.
He's not. But he was really good in this. It's hard to think anyone that's in an Expendables film could win an Oscar.
That's
like the-
yeah. It's like, what the hell? How did that even work? Yeah, Sylvester Stallone, Creed is $1.30. Mark Rylance, Tom Hardy, Christian Bale, and Mark Ruffalo.
Bale was really
Ruffalo.
good.
Yeah.
Christian, he was pretty good.
Oh yeah, fuck, that dude can do anything. though.
Yeah.
You know, for The Big Short, he only went on. They were only filming for like I think 5 days or
Yeah,
7 days for Christian
yeah.
Bale's bit. That was it. He just came in
Really?
for the week, did his acting, and then.
And most of those
Where's
guys
my
didn't.
$4 million?
Like, that film was. I listened to a really interesting interview with the director. And
Oh, actually, I had the same one probably.
Oh, no
Empire.
shit, yeah. And that whole thing was very segmented. Like, they basically never met each other, except there was one scene where, like, they showed one of them walking in the background while the others were in the foreground, and that was their way of sort of tying it together, but it was basically three totally separate films.
Right on. Well, that kind of brings us to the next section of the podcast where we talk about the feature movie,
Yeah.
The Revenant.
The Revenant. Yeah, the bear film.
So, I mean, can we just go around and get some overall thoughts on it first?
Yeah.
What are your thoughts, Beardo?
Okay, I guess I'll go first. I really... This film should have been, like, the best film ever for me. I think I mentioned this before. Like, it's one of my favourite directors, one of my favourite cinematographers, with probably my 2 favourite actors of all time. So this film, like, should have been my greatest film of all time.
Yeah.
It was definitely up there, and I fucking loved it. But there was just a little something missing that dropped it by, like, just a tiny bit. And,
Yeah.
I want to make it very clear, I fucking love this film, and I was riveted the whole way through it, but it had a sort of artsy twist to it.
make no sense.
I'm trying to translate. You mean that it was obviously a very long film, and there was lots of, it was slower moving, I guess,
Yeah.
than a lot of other movies.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen everything this director's done. Like, literally, even his old, like, Spanish films, like Amaris Paris and Babel and all that kind of stuff.
Wow,
Like,
yeah.
He's fucking really, really good, but this film seemed more like his older films that are a little bit sort of more... Maybe experimental is the word I'm looking for. A little bit more different, not as sort of mainstream. And I felt there was a few scenes that dragged on for a little bit longer than they could have, and lost me a little bit. Where if it would have been a little bit tighter, it would have just been top notch marks for me. That said, fucking loved it.
We spoke about this when we were reviewing Straight Outta Compton. I think episode 14 or 15, 16. We talked about how, like, when it's something that's a true story, you're always going to miss kind of small elements of the perfect story arc. You're going to, miss just slightly exactly where something's meant to happen and move the plot forward. It doesn't quite hit that mark. Did you find any of that with this?
No, that didn't really have much of an effect for me. To be honest, I kind of forgot that it was loosely based on a true story, and I I don't know how much detail they had from the original story to work with this, so I don't know, like I haven't read the book or anything like that, so I can't really speak to that. But personally, I thought it was still cinematic. It did still have the classic 3 plot structure and all that kind of stuff. I mean, 3,
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I think, what were your thoughts, Toomey?
Yeah, no, I thought it got your emotions in the right place. Like, from the get-go, you're right on the edge of the seat, like, you can tell shit's gonna kick off, and it kind of does right from the beginning.
Yeah.
Kicks off strong. So, I think it throws you in the deep end, so you're all excited to begin with, but then, 3/4 of the way through, probably like you were saying, where you're meant to have sort of a development in the main, like, sort of plot.
Yeah.
That it just kind of, it was missing that. So there was like a sort of stage halfway through where I was kind of losing interest or just kind of...
Yeah, where the plot has to move away from him, surviving and living through all this fucking hell to him wanting revenge on this dude. And it has to kind of switch. The plot needs to switch to that. And that's where it's like, just that slight bit had to be manufactured. It had to happen for the movie to move forward.
Yeah.
And so it's almost like, okay, let's go on this journey then.
Yeah.
I find it very interesting, just a side note, that Mad Max, which was one of the top films of last year, and this, they're both movies where the main story is like the main dude trying to escape from like this enemy. And you know how the what were the natives called that were chasing him down?
Oh, I can't remember
But they were like chasing him the whole way, just like Mad Max.
Yeah.
How it was just one big chase.
Yeah.
Almost. Find it interesting.
That one thing I would like to say is, again, the director of photography, is that what they're called?
DOP, yeah.
Yeah, he's just the fucking best dude in the industry, like, without a doubt. And I think he'll get his 3rd Oscar in a row for this, because he's just amazing. Like, that
stands out.
Just incredible, the shots and how they were made. Like, it just looks so real. And this is, like, it's so rare for a movie to get that, that era, that pre-1800, the pre-1900 era perfect. And it's just it's dirty, it's fucking nasty, and it's just perfect.
Yeah, that opening scene, the really long shot that starts with them hunting in the forest and ends literally about 20 minutes later. It is massive. That scene is just like one of the best single shots I've seen in so long, and he's just so good at that long take. Apparently that scene took 2 weeks to do for a 15-minute scene in the film. Is like just absolutely amazing. He's just like, I've got no words. He's just that good. You know?
No, very unique. His angles are really good as well. Like that, a lot of that opening scene was shot real low, so the camera's like looking up at the people.
I love that. It makes it real creepy.
Yeah, it makes it way more tense. Feels like you're sort of there. Yeah, it was cool. It was one thing I noticed.
And it was good because like they're kind of hiding from the Indians as they're coming to, basically just demolish them all. And they're like, we can't see them. Where are they? And you see these arrows flying in, and as the viewer, you can't see where they're coming from either. And you're like trying to spot, are they in those trees and all this kind of stuff. But until they actually show themselves, you're in the exact same boat as the actual people. Like, you're like, whoa, fuck, I can't see them. I don't know where they're coming from. Like, are they going to come from behind? Like, are they in the tree line? And it's just terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. And they wipe out everyone.
Good way to kind of make the white invaders the victims.
Yeah.
Like, to make you relate to them as opposed to the other way around.
Yeah. I think they definitely put a bit of love towards the Indians. Like, they definitely showed it from their side quite a bit. There was that amazing scene where they're sort of trying to barter over the horse. And he's like, look, I'm trying to run a business here. And he's like, you people have taken everything from us. Like, there was so much heart in that scene.
So much white guilt in that scene.
Yeah. I don't American. They did that. Australians have never stolen anyone's land. We're all right.
No, we're all right.
Shouldn't laugh about that. That
was a joke.
Yeah.
Look at
right.
Tim's like, you what?
I was like, is that true?
What are you on about?
Do you want to talk about that bear attack just a little bit?
Yeah, let's do it.
Good bear.
So, good bear.
Is he nominated?
He just wanted some honey.
I'm very desensitized. Like, I could watch a Saw movie while I'm eating my dinner, and like, it doesn't bother me. It doesn't really have. I was sitting there watching that bit, like sort of watching it like sideways, like just while I was cringing, sort of watching it out of the side of my face. It was really tough to watch. I found that really, really hard. And the fact that he lived through that is just phenomenal. Like what he
Just
actually went through, you know.
And I thought it was over when the bear left, and I was
Same.
like, oh, thank Jesus.
Yeah.
And then he gets his gun out and like, yes, fire the shot.
Yeah.
Fucking fires it, and it's
Yeah.
just the bear just gets more angry.
Yeah, as you would have been getting shot in the face, but still, you'd
Yeah.
think most people die, you know.
Yeah.
But we're not bears. So.
Not a fucking bear with like an 8-inch skull.
Yeah. And the bit where apparently the bear rapes him, it didn't even look like that.
That's all I was looking out for.
Yeah, I was like, so when's that bit? And there is a bit where he sort of like, they pan away and the bear's sort of like standing on him and stuff, but it didn't look like he was getting raped.
No, I was paying close attention. There was no penetration.
Yeah.
Verified.
There was some like cuddling, but there was no penetration. But apparently in real life, the bear actually scalped him, which is pretty fucking brutal. And like, they didn't want to do that because, you know, like, Leo's got nice hair. You don't want to take away the man's hair.
Exactly. Or his beard.
Yeah, or his beard. So I was interested to hear, because last week I mentioned that, or last podcast, sorry, I mentioned that Tom Hardy is one of my favourite actors, and you said, well, you know, like, you hadn't seen a huge amount of his stuff.
Yeah.
Your words were, well, what's he done?
Yeah, what did he do? Because I know he was in Mad Max, and
Yeah.
that's it.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I know.
Bronson.
Honestly, he's done a lot of really good stuff.
Well, that was my thought, of course, before this movie. But yeah, he's fucking great in this.
Yeah,
of course.
he's amazing.
He's great. I didn't even realize until like 10 minutes into seeing his face, and I was like, oh wait, that's him.
And
Yeah.
that's one of his strengths. Like, you watch him in something like there's a movie called Lock where it's just him in a car for fucking 2 hours. Then you'll go and see something like Rock and Roller, the Guy Ritchie film, and then you'll see Bane, and you won't know it's the same person from any of those 3 films.
Yeah.
You know, I like the thought of Tom Hardy and Leo being mates is just like. For me, it's like picturing Batman and Superman going for a beer. You know, like, it's just like two of the coolest fucking people I can think of working together. And their screen, the moments that they shared on screen, especially without ruining anything for the audience, if they haven't seen it, the blinking scene, you guys know what I'm talking about?
No.
It's like, blink if you want me to...
Oh, yeah.
That scene, and you can see, and like I don't know if you guys were the same, but I was like trying not to blink for that whole time. I couldn't fucking do it. Like, Leo didn't blink for ages. But he's just such a powerful actor. So terrifying and just so like...
Yeah. If I was Tom Hardy, then I would have just clapped in front of his face.
These, like, get up in here.
Oi, mate.
But yeah, I loved it. I thought it was great. I thought it was like just, through and through. I really, really liked it. There was just that 1% that stopped it from being like in my, you know, top 10 kind of category for me personally.
Do you want to say anything about the performances?
Leo's performance, there's nothing really to...
Right,
it's
home about?
insane. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, the stuff he went through to do that role is just mental.
Yeah.
Like, people don't do that in films anymore. Especially with the fact that they were filming out in the wilderness.
Yeah.
In the middle of nowhere, in, like, terrible conditions.
Apparently this film was shot in sequence purely because, like, the location scouts were literally out on a daily basis. Usually location scouts go and do the whole film and then they come back and say, here's where you're shooting. But because the scenery's changing so much day to day, they literally had to be at the 6 o'clock in the morning to do a shot at 2 p.m, you know, that kind of stuff. And it was shot like in sequence start to finish, which is extremely rare for films these days. But
Oh, okay. That is very interesting. I didn't know that.
And I mean, like, obviously, like you're saying, what Leo went through. I heard a really interesting thing from the director recently. He's like, this film was just as hard for me as it was on Leo. Like, the only difference was my jacket looked a bit more modern. But apparently for the crew, like, they were all fucking freezing. There was, like, people getting, like, quite ill. And you know, it was just nuts. Absolutely nuts.
Well, I got one thing that I read about. I read that immediately when I finished the movie, I was like, I looked it up and I was starting to read about how it was made and things. Apparently that's when I learned it was a fucking true story. I didn't know from starting.
They didn't really play that up, did they?
At the end, I looked up this article and it said that apparently they cut out one gross bit where of the true story part where DiCaprio's character has like rotting flesh on his back.
Ugh.
And he leans up against a tree to allow these maggots in the tree to eat away the rotting flesh.
Oh, my
That's what happened in the real true story.
Wow.
As opposed to, but they had to cut that out of the film because it was too fucking gross.
Yeah. Imagine sitting there eating on your popcorn and seeing that shit.
Yeah, dude.
'Cause
Exactly.
It'd be awesome.
I found this, yeah.
I want to see that shit. Fuck.
I like, this is one of the very few films, maybe because of the level of realism that I found like reasonably hard to watch. Where usually this kind of shit just does not faze me. You know, like. But yeah, I did find like a lot of the stuff, when they're trying to operate it on his back, and it's just torn to shreds.
One thing I don't get about true stories like this one in particular is how do you verify it? This guy's obviously written his biography.
Yeah.
And if you've written your biography, you're like, yeah, I got attacked by a bear. Big
fucking
survived.
Yeah.
I got a scar. In reality, the scar's just from like acne. But like, you just go like, yeah, no, it was a bear attack. And then I survived for like 3 weeks, and then randomly this Indian dude killed some wolves, and I ate this carcass raw. And like, how is this verified? How is it true?
You're right. How do you verify that shit? You just don't. You just believe him. You're like, yep, all right. Because what are you going to do?
Yeah.
When I write my biography, when this moment happens, there was strippers here.
Yeah,
I was getting a lap dance, and we were sitting on like a pile of money. Fuck, why not? My fantasy, my perfect life is me doing the exact same podcast, but with strippers,
strippers and cocaine.
Cocaine. There you go.
So we all know it's a fucking great movie, but we all kind of have some hesitations. It can't be a perfect 10.
Definitely not.
No, so what's the review? How many how many bear celts? How many bear furs out of 10?
I'll give it 7.
Really? That's 7. Low. That's
yeah, it is quite low, isn't it?
Yeah,
it is
quite a big film.
So what costed those 3 points?
The story wasn't anything special. Set in a real cool time period, which sort of made it. But it's just dude trying to find his son. It's fucking Day After Tomorrow, but with DiCaprio and a bear instead of a storm.
That's fucking great. I'm going to use that in our intro to it.
Yeah. Should be a quote on the poster.
Yeah.
Like Day After Tomorrow, but less snow. No, it's just as much snow. Actually,
yeah, it is.
There's no different. There's no Dennis Quaid.
Do you guys think that the pacing is one of the main things that hurt this film?
Just so long, man. I mean, I watched it on my computer so I could see immediately how long it is. But if I was watching this in cinema, I'd be like, Jesus Christ, what next?
I didn't feel it was too long. I didn't when I look back at it, it doesn't feel like a long film because I think it starts off real fast paced, but it just got slow sort of in the middle. Yeah. So I don't know, it just confused me. It trigged me.
Yeah. Okay. What about you? What do you rate this out of 10?
Fuck, it's a hard question. When I walked out of the cinema, I personally probably would have given it about a 7. For some reason, the further I've got away from this, looking back, I think I enjoy it more, and I don't know why that is. Sometimes it's the other way around, where the further I get away from something, the less I like it. But for some reason, this one has gotten better. I'd probably go about using like the IMDb scale, I guess, probably about a 7-8, like a little bit under an 8. But yeah, it's really tough for me because I fucking love those performances, love the cinematography, but it still was missing something for me.
Going on the IMDb scale, I'd give it an 8.7. Like I think you guys are selling a bit short. I think it's a great film. It was entertaining, as you said. It was a little lengthy, and the plot kind of didn't quite drive the story the whole time. Yeah, but. Yeah, dude, I was thoroughly entertained, and there's not many areas that I can fault this movie. Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong, I was thoroughly entertained as well. Like, it's still going to go down as a film that I just fucking loved, but I agree with you, man. It's often the opposite way for me when we're talking about time after a movie. Yeah. It would be interesting to do a podcast where you watch a movie and then a year later you review it. Which would be cool. So we could go back and review one of our first ones and see if we feel different about it. That's a really good idea. Without re-listening to the podcast, so we can then listen to the podcast straight after and say, "Oh fuck, I said this." And last you can't watch the film in the meantime. Yeah. But you're right about. Usually for me, I find something pretty cool at the start, and then it'll fade. Like with Deadpool, which we'll chat about in a sec. I really thoroughly enjoyed that in the cinema as I walked out. But then kind of, now it's a week or two later, I'm like, oh, geez, it wasn't that good. But Revenant's kind of different. It's almost the opposite. It gets better and better the more I think about it. Yeah. I loved it though. What are you going to... What's your rating? 8.7 for me, Okay. That's decent. Do you find you do the same with movies where the further away you are from it, the more you like it or the less you like it?
Yeah, there's a few movies where I found I like it more.
Yeah.
Revenant probably, I don't know. I think I had higher expectations. I wasn't.
How long ago did you see it?
Oh, pretty much when it came out.
Yeah.
So it's been a couple months now, is it? Probably.
Yeah, probably. I think a month at least. Yeah.
Yeah.
About a month.
It was just after I saw Star Wars, so
Yeah.
a few weeks after that.
Right.
Is Hateful Eight nominated? Going back to like Oscars, because that's the film when you think about a film that got better for me afterwards. Hateful Eight. The more I think about the film, the more I think, fuck, that was really good.
Yeah, I think it probably got nominated for a couple of the lesser known categories, but not for the main ones.
Definitely going to win best soundtrack.
Yeah,
best original score.
That's a really divisive film because like I just suggested at work that I really enjoyed it, and then I got yelled at by a couple of people that like they're like, we watched that film because you said it was good and we hated it. And I'm like, just because I enjoyed it doesn't mean you're gonna fucking love it, you know. But I loved it. I thought it was fucking great. Really, really enjoyed it.
Fair enough. Well, I mean, that's it. That's it for Revenant. Let's talk about what else you've seen. You've seen Deadpool as well.
Yeah, Toomey hasn't seen Deadpool, so we
keep the spoilers to a minimum. But what were your thoughts on it?
Let's just talk about the ending. We'll just talk about the ending, nothing else.
Exclusively. Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
On Deadpool, just real quick, like Toomey and I were talking about this earlier. I'm a huge fan of Deadpool. Always have been. One of my favorite comic book characters, purely because he's the king of breaking the fourth wall. Like, I was reading one the other day where he literally he got shot in the face or something like that, and he's lying there dead. He's having an out-of-body experience. Like, fuck this. I'm Deadpool. I'm not meant to die. I'm going to go talk to the writer. And he literally crawls out of the comic book panel and goes and talks to the writer. You know, like shit like that. And he'll always do things where he'll like look directly at the reader and like, you know, what do you reckon I should do here? That kind of shit.
Yeah.
Or he'll, in a video game, there was a thing where he literally grab his health bar and beat the shit out of the opponent with his health bar. Stuff like that. Like, there's something about the fourth wall breaking that I just love. He's like Abed from Community, the comic book character. You know?
Oh, cool, yeah.
And I just love that. And this film fucking nailed that, I thought. They did really, really good with that. What did you think?
Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it, but the first act is definitely the slowest of the movie. When Deadpool first started, there was just some bad jokes and some bad kind of like, I don't know, kind of cringeworthy moments, and I was like, oh, it's going to be one of these films, fuck me. But then it definitely picked up around the Act 2 turn, and it just got a lot better and like was a thoroughly enjoyable movie. I wouldn't rate it very highly, maybe a 7.5.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely good. But it's gotten worse as I've gone on. When I think back on it, I'm like, oh, it wasn't that good.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the lower budget comic book films, but I think with the budget they had, they did quite well.
Yeah.
I think they did really well, and the next one will be considerably higher budget, is my prediction, and it will be a much bigger and grander film. Yeah.
When you look at the marketing surrounding Deadpool, though, huge on when we're talking about viral marketing, when we're talking about on Reddit and on Facebook.
Yeah. There was a lot of like those videos like directed. Yeah. There was one directed directly at Australia Day. Like there was an Australia Day video.
Yeah, local marketing stuff. And there was one cool poster that I saw pop up on Reddit was like the Valentine's Day poster where it was like him and the girl sitting there. It looked like a really romantic film.
Yeah.
Oh, it was so cool as well.
Yeah. No, it was great. It was really good. And I liked the, there was a lot of really cool references to the fact that, I mean, you guys are aware that he played Deadpool. I'm doing inverted commas for the listeners. Deadpool in the Wolverine film. But they just fucking butchered the shit out of it.
I never saw that.
Oh, really? You know what? I really enjoy that film.
Origins? Wolverine Origins?
I never saw it completed. I remember it leaked really early
with
before
none
cinema.
Of the CG in there.
None of the CG. That's the version I watched.
Oh, no
So
shit.
bits of the film, it would just go to like green screen and shit, or it would just be like these sort of animated drawings of like the big fight scene at the end.
Yeah.
With, I believe, Deadpool or Deadpool inverted commas.
Yeah, definitely inverted commas, yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? I really enjoyed that film. I quite liked it.
How do they butcher him in that?
Because he's known as the Merc with the mouth. They fucking sew his mouth closed.
That's the dumbest shit ever.
Yeah, no shit. And they don't give him like it's not this. Basically, they're like, look, you know, it's vaguely meant to be Deadpool, but they just fucking butchered it. But so they make jokes about this, like they put a little figurine of that character in this. They directly mention Ryan Reynolds like multiple times, like in you know what? I think we're ruining a lot of it for
Hugh Jackson. They mention.
Yeah, and Ryan Reynolds as well.
Have you seen recently Ryan Reynolds interviewing Hugh Jackman
Yeah, that was funny.
for
No.
like Hugh Jackman's new movie.
No.
Like at a press junket, and Ryan Reynolds there, and they do like a little 5-minute interview.
No shit.
It's good. It's really
That's
good.
pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
It's a little funny.
Yeah, and he digs at him for the Deadpool in the Wolverine movie. They even make some sort of joke about it.
I like that. I like that.
Ryan Reynolds. He's got this like camp accent.
Yeah.
I've always liked him. Something
Yeah.
about him. He's a good bloke.
He's
He was
fucking
good.
awesome. You should see. There's an interview he did with Empire recently about this film on their spoiler special, and he just doesn't give a fuck. He's like on their podcast, like swearing, talking shit, like giving out spoilers and all this kind of stuff. Like he's just having such a great time. And
Yeah,
he just
yeah.
seems like the most fun dude.
He does. I remember I fell in love with him, literally.
The look at the seriousness
Yeah,
in his
yeah.
face there was like way beyond any like
felt the love.
punchline or anything.
I mean, when I really started to enjoy Reynolds was in Blade 3, when he was the well-groomed beard comic relief in that movie.
Yeah,
It
just
was
like me.
fucking awesome. What?
Nothing.
Sorry, mate.
Um,
No, you said something about you being... What?
He was he was originally Two Guys, a Girl, and a Pizza Place, which
Yeah.
is what our first podcast was sort of named
Dude,
after.
our first podcast was
Yeah.
called Two Guys in a Pizza Box. If you
That's
want to
it.
go back and listen to that
Loosely
for all our
based-
loyal fans out there.
The one thing that pisses me off, and it's never going to stop pissing me off until it's fixed, and it won't be fixed, so whatever, is the fact that these characters all exist in the same universe. Marvel owned by Sony, Marvel owned by Disney, and they can't cross over. The fact that the X-Men and the Avengers should by rights be in the same universe, but they're just not, pisses me off. And until like some rights expire and stuff like that, I mean, we're seeing some headway with the fact that Spider-Man will be in the next Disney Marvel film. But still, the fact that you can't bring all them together in the same universe, how much fun would it be to see Daredevil kicking around with Ant-Man, or to see the X-Men show up versus the Avengers or something like
I'm glad that Deadpool's done well, though. Done
Yeah.
way better than I thought. And I feel sorry for Zoolander, because Zoolander sort of come out at the same time.
but
but
dude, that movie's gonna suck.
We
dude.
reckon?
Yes.
I've seen it.
Zoolander's fucking brilliant,
And,
though.
yeah, I saw it on a double feature with Daredevil at the drive-ins.
With
and-
Daredevil.
Yeah. No, sorry, Deadpool. I keep
Jesus,
doing
because Ben
that.
Stiller, now I'm really
keep doing
confused.
that. Sorry. I saw Deadpool and
Zoolander.
Zoolander on a double feature, and I never liked even the first one, to be honest. But I was sitting there in tears. There's a couple of the funniest bits were there's a couple of new characters that I just thought were fucking hilarious. Like, without ruining it, the new model that comes into it, called something Atari or something, he had me in fucking tears. Absolute. He was really funny. But
Yeah, alright. I'll see it.
Yeah.
Reluctantly.
reluctantly.
Speaking of Two Guys in a Pizza Box, I believe that's where this first came up when I came along for one of those.
I know where we're going.
I had my list.
Oh,
this
the
was like when I
list.
first arrived in Australia, pretty much. I'd been in maybe
Wicked,
half a year. Things What Are Different Down Under.
I
So,
just love
is the
that
title.
title. We could just cut there and I'd be happy because things what are different. I just
Sorry,
love that.
just for the audience again, what's the list called?
Things What Are Different Down Under. It's my comparison of things between Australia
Yeah.
and England.
Oh, wicked. Okay. He
We
doesn't-
And
did this
some
on
of
one
them
our
are-
older podcasts, and it was just great.
Yeah, I don't think it ever made it to air. I can't
I
remember.
think it did, but we
no,
had
it
like
didn't, dude. I remember because the recording stopped halfway through and we were like debbed about it.
oh, that's right. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
So exclusively on Haircut and Beard, things what are different down under.
It's a fair list, and some of these things have like changed. So it starts off with like kilometers, because I use miles. You guys are
I
kilometers.
thought the UK was on metric.
It
I
is
don't- I think-
technically, but they still use miles.
Yeah, I think we pick and choose.
Just take the best bits
Yeah,
of everything.
we just.
Okay. Yeah.
You guys have more adverts on TV during TV shows. You have more ad
yeah.
breaks. You have them every like 7 minutes or something.
Yes.
Wow, yeah.
We have them
It's out
every
of control.
15.
They wonder why it's a fucking dying industry. Seriously,
Too
it's
many
fuck-
ads. I fucking hate ads.
Yeah,
I
the
can't
worst.
do it. Whenever I'm forced to watch normal television, like and not on Netflix or legally downloading stuff. I said legally, not illegally. Then I just can't do it. Like I cannot sit through an ad. I'm just like I quit. I'm
This
done.
podcast is brought to you by Squarespace
One day.
and Mailchimp.
Mel Kimp. Anyway,
I use that.
how smug is that bitch? Who cares you use a fucking email platform? She's like, I use that as if she's a fucking queen of England or something. You guys have a queen, don't you?
Yeah, we
There you
do.
go. Things what are different.
I think she's something to do with your queen as well. I think she owns you or something. I don't know.
I think she does. I probably shouldn't be speaking ill of our queen.
My queen.
Sorry.
Lizzie. Don't speak ill of Liz. Okay, I'll try. So, movie certs is actually on here, which we discussed earlier.
There you go. Bring it back
So you
around.
call them certs?
Certifications. I'm typing. Bro.
Yeah, okay. I'm just saying it's ratings, right?
Ratings.
Yeah.
So, yeah, whatever. But
You guys don't pronounce the T in words. Just ratings,
Ratings.
whatever.
Yeah, I go out of my way to make sure I don't pronounce my T's to make
Yeah,
sure I keep my British accent.
British. I love that.
They're like, fuck you, T. I'm out of here. We drink you, bitch.
I went to the market today and made special effort to order butter. I said to the
Butter?
guy, I need unsalted butter.
Butter.
You go, can I have a cup of E?
That's so good.
No, it's never if it's the beginning of the word. It's only in the middles. Come on, mate.
Something in the middle.
Hungry Jack's is Burger King.
Right.
I don't know
But
why.
oddly enough, there was a Burger King in Melbourne at one point, which blew my mind because I was aware that it was Burger King in other places. Like, yeah, we call it Hungry Jack's, but then there's a Burger King. Blew my mind.
It's exactly
what do you
the
do with that
same.
information?
The original was Burger King, though, right? And they just changed to Hungry Jack's.
I believe so, but it's isn't it pretty much the exact same menu?
It is the exact same. There's no different.
Yeah.
Whoppers, all it's
I think it's
exactly.
just like a copyright thing where something's already called Burger King here, so they can't use it.
maybe.
Or something like that.
You guys do have a lot of burgers,
Yeah, we do.
We do.
especially
We
in
love
Melbourne.
Going through a burger craze in Melbourne at the moment. I think it's just a world over, but
Yeah.
burgers
No,
pretty big.
it is. Yeah, I love burgers. Fuck.
I'm gonna get a burger.
Good one on the list here is no Netflix, because when I first got here, there was no Netflix.
Oh,
Netflix
there
is
you go.
obviously huge,
There
but
you go.
now it is.
So, as in Netflix was in the UK at the time, but it wasn't in Australia at the time.
Yeah.
Now it's just fucking everywhere.
Yeah, it's only been out for maybe a year here,
Yep.
I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not, I've been using Stan. I think the only reason I use Netflix is because I can still access the British and the American Netflix. Don't use the
For how
Australian
much
Netflix
longer,
is
who
pretty good.
knows? But
Yeah. But Stan's, well, no, because they've updated Netflix so to like warn you that you're using a VPN. So it's
Yeah.
like, hey, you're not in America, stop. And you just go up to the corner of Chrome and press like refresh, and it finds a new one. All right, you're back. You're in the States. Never mind. It's only happened to me once.
I've been watching it just normally, and I'm like, they're gonna catch me. I know the Netflix police are gonna bust through this fucking window any second.
We use a special, purchased VPN, not Hulu or not Hola.
Hola,
So
yeah.
I think those. Yeah, I think we're a little bit safer than the average.
Oh, this is quite a controversial one. I have quite a few arguments about this. Crisp packet colours.
Okay,
Yours are all different. Like, what's red if you go to buy a packet of crisps?
it's usually barbecue.
Yeah, no,
no,
ready,
see,
ready
I
solid.
was gonna say chili, so that clearly
What about blue?
proves your point.
Blue's the original.
plain.
Yeah.
Cheese and onion is blue.
Oh wow. Okay, no, that's yellow.
Nah, yellow would be
Yeah,
chicken.
No, yellow's not chicken. Green's chicken.
Green is salt and vinegar.
No,
No,
way.
salt and vinegar's purple.
Pink and purple. Yeah.
Yeah, pink.
No, pink is prawn cocktail, which you guys don't even get. Prawn cocktail is the best.
So
that actually does sound pretty good.
So prawn cocktail is pretty much the culprit when it comes to the color situation.
Yeah, it's kind of
Hey,
fucking
do
up.
you
the
guys
rest of
have? I've heard there's a flavor of Pringles called gherkin or pickle.
them. We get special ones that come like every year. They always do weird ones. Do you guys get Vegemite ones? Yeah, that was it.
Yeah,
Oh, we
there
get. I
was
think
Vegemite
Marmite we
ones.
had, but same. Sort of thing.
No, it's
same
not the
flavour.
same at all.
When
What
it's
are you
in
talking
crisp,
about?
it's the
Wait a
same
minute.
flavour,
All right.
but obviously in. Yeah.
Marmite's actually pretty good.
The,
I'm a
the
fan of
chips
Marmite.
packets, that's really interesting.
Yeah.
So
I love the passion you guys had during that argument, though. That got heated.
Okay, so what is like a light green?
That would be probably like sour cream and chive. If I saw
think
light
that's
green, that's
about
what I
the
would
same,
think it
isn't it?
was.
See, that'd be light and tangy for us.
Yeah, you're right. Oh,
Light,
light
that's
tangy.
not even a flavour.
All right. I got one more. What about like a brown-ish color?
Barbecue.
Okay, so
Or like
barbecue
smoky
we're
bacon.
Pretty good on.
Yeah, that's pretty close. I think I've had some smoky bacon that's
Yeah.
been a brownish
Barbecue.
colour.
I mean, it gets a little orange in Australia, like with the packet colors, but I think light brown that's pretty accurate.
Yeah.
We can bond on that.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, the list goes on here. There's more, but I
You
think
know
that's
what?
enough.
Just give us another two.
Yeah, give us some highlights.
Another
Look,
two. All right. There's plain packaged cigarettes. We haven't
Yeah.
got those yet.
Oh yeah.
We've still got pictures
Yeah.
of
That's a
like
good
logos and stuff.
Yeah.
And go on, one last one. One that really quite annoys me about this country is like jaywalking is a thing. You can't just cross a road when you want to
Yeah. Okay.
cross a road. Not a huge deal, but obviously in the city and stuff, you never know when a
Yeah.
cop's just going to screw you.
jump
if you
out
can.
from behind a fucking bush
Yeah.
and just slam you.
We had a friend get caught for jaywalking, and this cop, I think it was like a renter cop, to try and get some revenue.
Yeah.
Tried to stop him, and he was just like, "Nah, I've got no time," and just kept walking, and the guy couldn't do anything.
Yeah, yeah. That happened with another guy smoking, dropped his cigarette butt, and he's like, sorry, mate, I got to go.
Yeah,
I want to work, mate.
He's like, no, I got to give you a ticket. No, sorry, mate, I got no time.
Yeah, just walked off, and he's like, I talked to him later, he's like, look, I took a risk. And he's like, I didn't know if he could stop me, so I just walked off, and he did nothing.
One of the dudes in my team, this happened to him last week, outside work having a cigarette, and they caught him throwing it on the ground, and they said, oi, we're going to fine you, and he was like, no, and like walked off.
Yeah.
Got to like the lifts to come upstairs, and they followed him and into the lift, and they said, "We don't care. We're going to call the police. Like, you're getting your fine."
Really?
And he's like, "You can't come up here. This is my office. I'm going up." And like, "We don't care. We're coming. We're going to call the police. We're going to keep an eye on you until they get here." So he ended up just giving them his ID and copping the fine.
No shit.
So yeah,
But they can't come in. Just go to level 1 and get security to fucking take care of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you'd think. But yeah, they put the pressure on him. In the city when they're there and the time comes. I don't know how I would. Because I would try the same thing, just be like, nah, see you later.
Run.
Yeah.
Just fucking
But if
run,
they get in
dude.
the lift with you and shit, I mean, I don't know what you're going to do. It's pretty intimidating.
What about, like, running into the stairwell? Just, like, run up the stairs, quickly buzz yourself in and shut the door behind
But
you.
as a smoker, you'd make it 3 stairs up and just pass out. They'd be like, yeah, we got
That's
you.
why they target smokers.
And it's annoying, all the doors at work are those stupid fire doors where they don't, even no matter how hard you pull them, they still close real slow. So even if you wanted to quickly get behind the door, you'd be like, no.
But the stairwell ones are okay.
Yeah, they slam.
We digress. Let's wrap it up. So this has been Haircut of the Beard. Just want to say thanks to our very special guest, Toomey, a.k.a. the Girl 2.0.
Thanks for having me,
Tombs
guys.
is pretty good. That's a bit of a gangster name.
Toombs. That's from the X-Files, episode 2.
Yeah.
Thanks to our co-host, Rob the Beard Brown.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming. Really weird
I don't know
outro. This has been Haircut of the Beard. Hit us up on Twitter at HaircutBeard's our handle there, or on Facebook, and give us a review on iTunes. Helps us out as well. Thanks for listening, and goodbye. My name's Vader, aka Haircut, and goodbye.
See you guys.